feel to be donning Chargers gear in an official capacity?
Yeah, it feels wonderful. Yeah, it's exciting to get to show up here every day and come to work and get to work with great coaches under Coach Devlin. I mean, it's the first foray into the NFL to have his leadership is pretty spectacular.
What was you mentioned you kind of threw your name out there, potential. What was your thinking there? And just, had you reached a point, coaching high school, you realized maybe I want to take this to the next step?
Yeah, my issue was that I coached too much football in the fall over the last 4 years back in Indiana, and I fell in love with the sport again. I had enough time and spent a ton of time with my kids, raising them. They're 12 and 10 years old now. I felt comfortable with the place that they were at, and they probably need to be out from underneath me a little bit. And every year, about playoff time, is when it starts to hit you that that's my drug of choice. And I wanted to be back in and put my name in the hat. Thankfully, Coach Harbaugh gave the call, and there was no doubt that if he did call that I was going to accept, and we're going to get rolling, and it's been a wonderful 2 months.
So do you remember when you first got a call? Like, can you tell us a story about that when you realized who it was?
Yeah, it was 9 o'clock at night. I think it was on maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I'd gotten a text that said, "Hey, Coach Harbaugh's trying to call you," because I don't answer unknown numbers. And so got a call, and you feel that in your heart a little. It's like, oh, God, this is happening. This is real. And, within a matter of minutes, hey, we'd like to offer you the assistant offensive line position. Would you like to take it? Yes, of course. Like, Coach Harbaugh calls, and you say yes. That's what you do.
So he called and you didn't answer? Like, you saw the number?
I missed one.
Okay. And then, so did you literally take it? You didn't even have to think about it? You accepted in one phone call?
Yes. Yeah. You only get so many chances to get back into the game. And so, and this is, you want to talk about an opportunity to work with not only him, but under Coach Devlin, Coach Roman, and the direction this organization's heading, and being really familiar with the organization. For me, it was the chance of a lifetime.
So when you made the decision that you were trying to get back in, was that tied at all to Jim taking this job and you eyeing this specific opportunity, or was it more general, like
More general. I wanted to get back into the game, and then it was a matter of time, and we're here, and it happened to be Coach Harbaugh, and that was, even further reason to take the job, for sure.
Had you crossed paths with him at any point in your playing career?
I had run into him 1 or 2 times while in San Diego, and he was still coaching at University of San Diego. But other than that, no, we'd played his teams, and I always remembered when we played his teams, our defense said, "Put on your big boy pants. It's going to be a real game now." So their offenses hit heavy and come after you, and you remember when you play them. So happy to be a part of that on the other side of things.
Any familiarity with Greg Roman at all before?
No, but I had called some buddies who had played for him, and they loved him. And so you call another offensive lineman, it's like, that dude's a savage. You want to, get in. Yeah. It's like, all right, we're in. So offensive linemen, we're all pretty similar. And so when you're a good friend that you trust, tells you he's awesome, you go work for him.
And just what's it been like to be back, like, in the room? Offensive linemen always talk about how special, like, that place is. What's it been like just to be back in there, watching film, with players? Like, what's that been like?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I can't believe they let me do this. I think that every morning when I wake up and I'm driving to work, I can't believe they let me in this place. Like, my key still works, and I've only been here 2 months, but it's so special. Like, the whole thing's just so special. Being, when you're a player towards the end, you forget how special it is. And then I took 9 years off. And when you're watching from the outside, you remember how special it was. And you remember that at one point you dreamed of being in that room, and you were no longer in that room. And then when you're back, you just really take in every moment. And soak it all up, and just super appreciative and grateful, and it's the greatest.
But we've heard everyone mentioned just how important, like the importance of the offensive line. How exciting is it to be first job in the NFL, be with the team that values the offensive line as much as, or talks about it as much as the Chargers?
Yeah, to have a coach say that offensive linemen are weapons and they're valued, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's just, we know how important we are, and a lot of the players know how important we are, but to have a head coach kind of reiterate that, and so you feel special, but you should anyway.
You have a little bit different perspective than a lot of people, I guess, since you played it for so long. You mentioned the direction. What have you thought the last 4 months, before you were even here, and they hired Harbaugh, and kind of where this thing was going? Herbert's here. And, when you look at it, having played for this franchise, how exciting is that, or what do you think when you see maybe where this is going?
Yeah, and a new facility coming, and bringing in Coach Harbaugh and resources, and it just, the commitment level is there. And that's exciting when you feel really supported, and it's an exciting opportunity.
What have you learned about sort of what your role is going to be? Like, what are your obviously your expertise in a specific position, but just like what are you expecting out of what you're going to be able to contribute?
I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn how to coach, to be a better coach, to learn how to support the players, the coaching staff, to support Coach Devlin, and give everybody the best that I can give, what they need, and just help everybody learn. And whatever that is, it's drawing up plays on the computer. And everyone said that was going to be the hardest thing. It's like, do you know how to draw? Drawing. It's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get in there and get our hands dirty, and that's the only way to get good at anything, is to just get in and get going. And yeah, it's just learning and watching. I'm really observant and just watch the coaches and be super intent, and just like you did as a player, it's like every day you try to improve on something that maybe you weren't as good at the day before.
And then just what have the interactions been like with the players? Are they really curious about your playing career? Are they asking, or is it more like very detailed technique stuff? Like what kind of questions have they been asking?
Everything. It's just building relationships, right? So it's a relationship game, and I've always felt that the teams who have the most success care the most for each other. So if you develop great relationships, then they will all fight in this thing harder together. I'll fight as a coach harder, they'll fight harder, and we'll all compete harder. So it's building relationships. But yeah, are they curious? I'm sure. Yeah, they ask questions, but it's everything. I ask questions of them too. Like I want to learn what they're doing.
You started coaching back in Indiana. Did your kids get you into it, or did you know?
My kids got me into it. Yeah, my kids got me into it, and then I lived 4 houses away from the local high school, and so I went, knocked on their door, and got involved there. And it's, I realized over the last several years, it was a big high school, and I was up breaking down film until midnight, and we'd grade and evaluate, and I was getting 4 hours of sleep a night, and I was like, well, if I'm doing this for free and actually donating money, like, why would I not do this at another level, and one that I'm more familiar with, if I ever got the opportunity to do that?
When you were playing, did you think you would coach one day?
I thought for sure I wouldn't coach. Yeah, I remember Ken Wisenhunt coming to me, and he goes, hey, if you ever want a job, just, come. He goes, you're going to be a great coach. Take your time, raise your kids, get them to a certain place. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I do that. It's like, and here I am.
When you were walking over there, what were you thinking before you knocked on the door? And what kind of response? I guess maybe that's a better question.
Oh, at the high school?
Yeah, when you knocked on the door, hey,
here, yeah. Well, they told me no first. I had to go coach youth ball, like, second and fourth grade for 2 years before I was allowed to coach at the high school. I had to earn my way in.
How did they say no? That's crazy to me.
The Chargers the other day on social media shared a photo of you or over the ball. I think
Oh, yeah.
What was happening there?
getting some snaps in. Somebody's got to snap, and it's nice to have the guys be in the drills with the offensive line, so they've got a shot to learn the techniques that we're trying to teach them. And so they needed an extra snapper, and I'm available. Yeah, I like riding a bike. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you don't get many snaps out in the real world. Coach, second graders, yeah.